If anything good has come out of this horrific war, it's that the moral depravity of the so-called rules-based order has been exposed to the masses. The mask has fallen from the neoliberal class. For far too long, liberal Western politicians have tried to convince us that they live by the standards of human rights, democracy, and freedom of speech. These are the same individuals and countries that say Israel has a right to defend itself against the world's largest concentration camp. Our so-called Western leaders in Washington, in London, in Brussels have weaponized human rights. They've weaponized democracy to promote humanitarian wars and to expand their settler colonial projects. But let's not forget that this is the same ruling class that brought us the wars in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Libya, in Somalia. And they are the same ruling class that have given us and pushed for the brutal maximum pressure campaigns, sanctions, and regime change operations against sovereign countries like Syria, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, and so many more countries who are resisting Western imperialism. Israel's war in Gaza is just an outward and blatant expression and representation of what the neoliberal class represent. A bloodthirst for war that fuels the military-industrial complex. Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, two weapons manufacturers, applaud this genocide. Think tanks that are funded by these weapon manufacturers draft the war policies and hand them to our politicians to make these wars inevitable. We see dead children. They see their stock prices go up. But it's clear, no matter how many millions of dollars that they spend to manufacture consent for their wars and support for Israeli apartheid, Palestinians have won the hearts and minds of humanity. Never have I personally seen in my lifetime such global dissent and awakening to Israel's propaganda war in Gaza. We are witnessing a global enlightenment. Millions upon millions of people have taken to the streets. Mass sit-ins at our elected officials' offices have been organized, and mass boycotts of monolithic corporations. The massive coffee company Starbucks lost $12 billion in a matter of just 1 month from our global boycott campaign. We have to disrupt their money-making mechanisms that make these wars possible. The capitalist system that we live under today is meant to make us feel powerless. But we have the power in our hands to disrupt their money-making mechanisms and stop this war. And guess what? It's working, and Israel knows it. The architects of the wars know this. And that's why today, Israel is spending literally millions of dollars on propaganda, on an information war, to manufacture consent.